Alrighty. Let's get into it. Let's get right on into it. Alright, hopefully there shouldn't be any bitrate issues or anything this time. I messed around with some more settings yet again. I was having some issues with my VR headset stuff with Virtual Desktop and Steam VR 2. Getting like GPU spikes or something. I don't know what was going on with it. But it was happening for a while and it was making the VR stuff hard to use. But I was messing around with all the settings I could, and something I did made it work again, so hopefully this stuff will be fine. I don't know. But anyways, we're back, and I am ready to get things done. I am so excited. We're gonna do some silly things. We're gonna go to Glacio, we're gonna go to Caldor, we're gonna go to everywhere. It's gonna be so cool. Also, I want to see, one of our missions is to get the shelters or the because we want to either get, let's see here, yeah, safest houses. We want to put a shelter or a landing pad on all the planets. Now to do landing pads, we need aluminum and 2 ceramic per. And building one of those, I'm pretty sure would be a medium box, so that would fill up the spot on here that's meant for the oxygenator or something else, so that's kind of annoying. So I was thinking maybe we could do, not going to do a regular shelter. We don't even have access to those things yet because we don't have a chemistry station. But I was thinking we could do, let's see here, a field shelter. That's going to need silicone and graphene, so we're still going to have a chemistry station to do that. Also, 8,000 bytes is a lot of bytes. Well, I think we should invest in a chemistry lab and an atmospheric condenser. I think we'll want to make those pretty soon here. I suppose we could just start doing landing pads. So that means we're going to need aluminum and ceramic. Ceramic isn't too hard. We already got 2 clay here, so we can do that. We should have aluminum lying around somewhere. Otherwise, I guess we could collect some quick. Oh, here's a piece of aluminum. So we'll go ahead and do that. I don't remember which printer it has to be on. I think it might be this one. Yeah, it'll be the big printer. Alrighty, let's do that. Have that start printing. So I kind of just want to get a lot of these missions done. So let's see here. That one we're going to have to wait until we have the chemistry station and stuff, because we're going to need to make a trade platform. And to make a trade platform, you need, well, I guess you don't need chemistry station for that. We just need an exo chip, which we should have 1 or 2 of already from exploding that one thing. And then iron and tungsten. So we're going to have to go to Glacio for iron then. But we already got tungsten right here, so that's nice. If we want anything larger than a medium shredder, though, we're going to start needing the chemistry lab stuff. Tungsten carbide, or for the larger one, here it is. We need tungsten carbide and steel, and 2 exo chips for the extra large shredder. All right, we got our landing pads, so I will put that on the rocket. And I think we will just go to Glacio next is the easiest move. And that'll also be nice because on Glacio we can start getting titanium and making the silos instead of just the storages. Because a medium storage like this, they hold 8. The silos also fit on a medium piece and they hold 24. So that's 3 times as much for the same amount of space. So that's one of the reasons why I love Glacio and I love titanium. It's just so good. Then also getting iron for steel and stuff for the large storage pieces. Well, I guess this large storage just needs ceramic, which is actually pretty good because that you put onto a large outlet piece. I guess, what are these things called? I mean, you got a large, what would you call that? It's not an outlet. Plug? Not really. Whatever you call that thing. You got like the medium, and then you have the large one here. And then you have, I mean, I guess they are item slots themselves, but you can like plug things into them, like how you plug this into it. But anyway, so you got a medium slot, large slot. So the large storage, you put it on a large slot, and then it makes 4 medium slots from that. But you can have the large storage silos. And the B one is better than the A one, just in general. And it needs 3 steel, but that thing, you put it on a large slot, and it makes 12 medium slots. So that's huge. Also, I'm interested to get one of these large gas canisters. That would be really cool to have a lot of gas, 400 in a canister. And the same with the fluid and soil canister, 10,000 bytes for that. And that needs a titanium alloy, a plastic, and a glass, but you could get so much hydrazine or soil in that. That's crazy. Doesn't even tell you how much. It just says holds more than a substantial amount. Pretty silly. All right. So anyways, so for part of this mission, when we go to Glacio, we want to find a data circuit module. So we'll do that. Hopefully our pal, not Sylvie, where's the other one? Right here. Hopefully Usagi will actually be able to show us one of those pieces so we can find that easier. That'll be great. And then also on Glacio, we want to find the installed platform at the North Pole. So we'll be doing that too. And then at some point we're going to go to Calidor. I think we'll do the Glacio stuff first though. Malachite. I think that is, if I go to the Astropedia, I'm pretty sure that's for getting copper. Malachite. Copper from malachite, yep. So I can just go to the mountains here and get some malachite, and then that'll unlock whatever that item is. I'll track that. I'll track this. I suppose we can track that too. We also need to go to Calidor for this one, and Visania and Aatrox. Okay. This one, print a chemistry lab, and then do rubber or plastic. We'll do that too. Can we do that before leaving the planet? Let's see. What does a chemistry lab cost? Ceramic, glass, and tungsten. We can do that. Let's go down and grab some quartz quick. Yeah, that'll be an easy one to start with. All right, let's see here. There should be some quartz right around the bend here. I'm pretty sure this cave had a lot of quartz. Yeah, I see some over there. Let's not fall down farther though. Ooh, Gotta be careful. That wasn't even a long fall and I took damage. Alright, let's just get a lot of quartz so that I don't have to come down again right away. Seeing as I have the backpack space for it. Ooh. Those explode. Luckily I wasn't nearby, otherwise that would have hurt me. Alright, that should be enough. Got more aluminum. No, that's not aluminum. That's sphalerite. That's for... what is it? Lead? Also just more compound there. Is this the way back? This is not the way back. How do I get turned around in the cave so easily? I even have my own trail here. I don't know how. I suppose I cut across last time and I forgot to do that this time. That must have been it. Yeah. What was I stuck on? I was stuck on one of the little pillars. It's real easy to get stuck on the topology sometimes. Alright, here's the way back. We'll turn some of this into glass, because I know we'll probably need more than just one glass, but also having just some quartz is good, because I think just quartz can make the beacons and stuff. So I think we'll put on like 3. Oh, and I had a quartz here already. Well, it's good to grab more anyways. Alright, so we'll have 3 glass, and then the rest can just stay down here. We'll throw this on so we get another zinc piled up there with the rest. Alright, so we got a glass, and then we're going to need ceramic and tungsten. So we got glass. We have tungsten. Let's make some ceramic. So we'll throw our soil on here. Also, I want to make another storage. Medium storage. This will probably be one of the last medium storages I ever have to make. I really love using the silos a lot. Some people like to use the storages still because 8 is a good amount, and being able to flatten them down does make it easier to see some of the items. Like on the silos, they kind of wrap around the side of the silo and it goes on both sides. So sometimes you have to like go onto the back or pick it up and spin it around to be able to actually see all of the items on your silo. But I think having the 3 times capacity in the same spot is just so much more worth it anyways. All right, so we are going to make some clay. We can make 3 out of that. Pretty good amount. And then we're going to have to make a rubber or a plastic. That should be pretty easy to do then. We're not going to Vicini or Novus yet, so we can't get lithium. Fill a medium resource canister. I don't believe we get that unlocked. Yeah, so we need plastic for that anyways, so I have to do this first. That's 2,000 bytes to get, and that mission only gives me 500 bytes. So I'm not gonna do that one unless I actually have to start doing it. All right, this should be done. And what we can do is we can just pick up the storage and throw it on that side. And then it'll start doing that. Okay, let's pick up one of our glass. Pick up one of our tungsten. First real use for the tungsten. And now we'll pick up our ceramic. Then I think we make it in this one here. There it is, chemistry lab. Alrighty. And it's going. It always takes forever to print with these larger ones. We're going to need to make another platform for it at some point, but then again, we're going to need to make a whole new base area. That's way nicer and prettier and has a lot more flat space that is actually level. Probably going to build at one of the faces, like above or below a gateway chamber. It's probably the best bet. All right, well, we got a chemistry station. Let's see here. We can make rubber with organic and resin, or we can make plastic with carbon and compound. Might as well just make a rubber. Not like we really need any of those yet. So let's just go over here, grab some organic quick. All right. Got a couple organic. I'll just throw the extra out over here. We're going to have to gather some resin, but there should be some right in the cave, easy to grab. Should be just on the ceiling right away over here. Let's see, right after this opening, there should be some, right? Unless I'm mistaken. Yeah, right up here. And compound. All right, let's head back. It's a good amount. This way. Our friendo is no longer fed. We're gonna have to get some more seeds for him. I think we'll get some seeds once we land on Glacio. There might be, I forgot which one his favorite is, but he might have his favorite plant on that planet, so might as well wait to feed him over there anyways. All right, so we got a resin and a organic. So we'll throw that in there, make a rubber quick. Good stuff. Now keep this in my backpack because I'll probably want some resin and compound to bring with us anyways. And there's our first rubber. Cool. All right, I think we unlocked some new stuff now too. So if we go up here, we get a reward, 1,000 bytes. And from thin air is the new thing. So it wants us to make an atmospheric condenser and then produce a full gas resource. And then that'll give us a free gas canister and the schematic for it. Now let's see what it is to make an atmospheric condenser. So we'll need plastic, glass, and iron. So I'm going to have to make a plastic anyways. Good thing I grabbed that second organic here. We can just throw that on the smelter quick. And then we have the compound we need for the plastic. Then we'll need some glass and some iron. We have glass here. We can't actually do the iron yet until we go to Glacio. Good thing that's what we'll be doing next though. So we'll throw that and that there. And I'll just set that like right here so then I don't forget about it. Actually, let's make it into plastic first. And then it'll be easier to notice because it'll be sitting on this. And I can just throw that back there. All right, so we're going to head off. We have 3 packagers. That should be plenty. I'm going to bring this extra thruster just in case anyways. Ooh, I know what we need to bring. One of these trumpets just in case. You never know. And I might as well grab some tethers. Anything else? I don't think so. We should be fine. All right, we should be good to go. Any other missions? That just requires having a bunch of bites. I don't have a bite farm yet, so that's not good to do. I don't want to do any gateway chamber stuff yet. We don't have enough good power to really try that. And I want a better vehicle before I start doing all that stuff. Same with these things here, so we'll just leave those. So yeah, we'll just do the stuff that we have tracked right now. Alrighty. Let's take off. And away we go to Glacio. Yay. Alright, where's Glacio? There it is, all by itself out over there. Glacio, the tundra planet. Notable resources, titanite and hematite. Its only gas is argon. And it is technically a hard one, but I know how to handle it, so we'll be fine. Let's just look around, see if we can find a good spot to land. That one's right next to a gateway chamber. I think we'll do that. We'll go back around again. Yeah, that'll be a good spot. Kind of annoying that it's in a basin and not on one of the flat zones, but we'll make do. All right, so now we'll put this here. There goes another tick mark for that mission. We'll just place it like that. Doesn't need to be flat. And now we can accept things here if we need. That is one thing though, I didn't bring an oxygenator with us, so we are gonna have to either carry this around or make one. I think we might just make an oxygenator. What is it to make one? Aluminum and ceramics, so I'm gonna need those. So I'll have to go mining. Alright, let's place this here and repackage that right away before I forget. There we go. So now that's back at 100%. Yep. All right. I suppose we can start. Ooh, I didn't even bring any power things either. Jeez. I did not come properly prepared. Small printer. And then we'll want a generator so we can make power. Don't need that right now. Don't need that right now. Don't need that right now. Stick out some of this. A lot of compound over here. That's great. Oh, that recharges so slowly. This has to go up like 3 bars before we can actually use it. There we go. It just fell right out. Don't go under there. All right, let's place this like right here. Place that there. Yep. All right. We want to make a medium printer, and we'll place this right there. That'll go. And we'll also need more platforms. Platform. Then let's put the printer on the platform. And let's make that. There we go. Grab our soil back. We're going to need some more resin. Let's look around quick. Harmless flora we can harvest. What did we get? Prickle pod seeds. I'm going to want to check that out then. Let's see what prickle pods are. Prickle pod seed, growable, can be planted or researched, disappears after a time if not planted. Well, yeah, that's pretty standard. All right. Well, we'll see what these prickle pods do. I can feed them to Asagi, although I don't think that's his favorite. Yeah, his favorite is mutant hispines. All right, let's just place that like right there. Let's turn you off quickly. All right, the next thing we're gonna want, gonna need a soil centrifuge, but we're gonna need a smelting furnace first. So yeah, we're gonna need some resin. Oh, that went fast. I guess it's not finished, but it's close. Produces resource when tapped, organic. I guess that is pretty standard. So it's just a harmless flora that does, I guess it's this version, this planet's version of a tree, I suppose. Bet it makes organic faster than the trees that Silva do. I just see more compound there. I don't see any more resin. Get a lot of bites from this planet though. There's an enemy. Let's kill it. Let's head back. Gonna be low on oxygen. A lot less bites from those. Okay, there we go. Saved. These are the boomalooms. So these are different than the hispines. But I can still feed them those. Got some more bites out of that. 8,000 bites right now. We might just carry our rocket around. Maybe bring it up on top of one of the mountains, see if I can find any resin anywhere. If not, we can just start making a cave entrance and do that. I love just carrying the rocket around. It's a poor man's portable oxygenator. Give me that, please. Thank you. Let's take a look-see. I'm not seeing any resin. We'll probably just have to dig for it. There's a train track module. Alright, I think we'll just go dig for it. I think that'll probably be best. Also, we can open up our compass and see things that the compass shows. With Usagi now, all those blue things are special items. In fact, I kind of want to go see that one right away. Okay, so there's a big wreck here that might have some goodies for us. Let's blow that up so it doesn't shoot at us. Pretty sure the things that shoot at us shoot explosive things, so that's fun. Also, here's some iron. We're gonna need that at some point, but I don't think we need to grab it right now. Give me that bites. Thank you. Let's dig this out so I can see all the slots. All right. What do we got? Titanium, titanium. That's nice. Explosive dynamite. Solid fuel jump jet. Ooh, that's great. Small wind turbine and then some argon right off the bat. All right. Don't think we have too much use for that. Ooh, where are we? Look at this. That's what the jump jet does. Just one big jump up. It's not proper flight like with the hydrogen ones, but it helps. Is there anything else on the outside I'm missing? I don't think so. All right, let's head back. Ooh. Let's not lose our place, because I don't think our landing pad actually makes a mark on the compass. Oh, we gotta go back this way. At least we made our stuff right by this gateway, so we have the gateway access point on the compass. I noticed my bridge here. That's how I remembered to come back this way. Here we are. I'll just fall with it. So now that we have 2 titanium with us, if we check what things we have unlocked, I can get a medium storage silo for 3,000 bytes. And then if I turn this on, there we go. We'll print a medium storage silo. Pretty cool. Gotta keep that thing working or else this stuff doesn't stay on. I printed inside that, didn't it? Yeah, there it is. So here is my beloved storage silo. 12 on this side, 12 on the other side. Fits on a medium slot. Very useful. All right. Now let's head down. We're going to have to take this with us until we have aluminum and the stuff to make a furnace. Yeah, we're going to be running without power for a while here. Should have just went back home and grabbed some power things quickly, but eh. Suppose we do have this wind thing we can attach. Let's throw this stuff out here. Don't want to be carrying stuff that we don't need. There's my tethers. Let's make some tethers quick. It won't attach until this thing has an oxygenator though, which also means it won't transfer the power to me either. I get to bring this down into the cave with me. That'll be fun to try and do. Ugh. All right, we got some titanium right nearby, so that's nice. Let's dig this out. Ooh, that takes a long while because it's so tough material without my drill piece. All right, reconnect here. So we have a lot of titanium right here. Check around quick. Ice chunks can be exploded, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Nothing special on the radar with Usagi yet. He just ate. We're looking for resin and aluminum. It would be real nice to have some resin right now. There's some resin. Let's grab some of this quick. All right, we're gonna have to head back. Can I kill that thing? I don't have time. Ouch. Gotta get back before we suffocate. Ooh, we're suffocating. Oh, we're slowing down. Oh, we're so close. Come on. Don't die. There we go. I did not even get a single resin off that. We're gonna head over there with our rocket. Now let's not miss our spot though. No, attach please. Thank you. That plant destroyed itself from exploding, so we won't have to worry about it again. It just is gone now, I'm pretty sure. All right. Back this way. Yeah, we recharge so slow when we don't have any power on us. Okay, let's set this like right here. Also, these little cave ones give so much bites, like 350-ish per. It's crazy. I literally cannot dig without power because I need to be able to use the drill piece. I'm going to turn off the wide and boost mod so then I use less power. I think 3 pieces, maybe some more than 3. Maybe we should get 4 pieces. It's over here. Anything special? And there's one of those things up there. This is a sight pylon. Not really useful until we have trains. All right, let's head back to the rocket. Please refill me with your power. And this is why you plan ahead more. Didn't even think about not having power. Or having the thing to oxygenate me. Because we left our oxygenator on Desolo because I brought more tungsten with me. Alright. Turn on the wide mod. Don't need the boost one though. Alright. We got 3 pieces. So I need a smelting furnace, which is going to need 2. And a soil centrifuge does not need that. Soil centrifuge needs aluminum though, and we haven't found any of that. So let's look around for that. There's a wreckage piece here. Got some carbon on it. What's that? Free boost mod. We already have one, so that doesn't really matter much. That's just a hole back to the surface. Might have to go to the second layer to get any aluminum. I'm not too sure. What's that? Oh, that's one of those things. Don't want to dig that up. That'll just explode in our faces. More titanium over there. More resin here. Ah, I see some laterite on that end. Let's grab the rocket and go over there. We just need to be able to make our soil centrifuge, and then we can do anything we want. Although, for the actual oxygenator, we also need an aluminum. But we need the soil centrifuge to do the ceramic anyways. So we'll just grab enough for at least 2 aluminum then. We should be powered up on our backpack, enough for that. Alright, place that like right there. Oh, there's a lot of these explodey boys over here. There we go. We have 1 laterite. We're going to need to get more. Come on. Just need a little bit more power. Ugh. Really recharges so slowly. Oh, there's some above. Maybe we can get that better because it's not the blue stuff. I think the blue stuff needs like a tier 2 to really do it fast, but this gray stuff is easier. Alright, we got plenty now. Let's head back. Might be easier to just go along the surface. Can I not dig without... Ugh. Here, get up on here with me. It does not want to get on the ramp. There we go. Now I'm stuck though. That's fine. All right. Bring you up higher. Let me around you would be nice. All right. Then let's pull you up higher. Ooh, don't fall on me. Don't attach to the ceiling. What are you doing? Well, he's above me now. All right. Where is it going? Weird. I bet I'm drilling into the top of a plateau thing, and it's super high up when it doesn't have to be. Can I just dig up into him? He's wanting to go into the ceiling. Maybe there's actually something up there. Can I just turn off these mods? Why can't I see my character normally? Ugh. Turn off, turn off. There we go. Should be able to dig without any actual power now. Okay. Turn those back on now and take this up with me. I'm stuck. Ugh. Whoa. Don't fall out the map. All right. Bring it up. Nope, don't point. Take it with me. There we go. Ugh. Okay, there we go. Oh, there's one of those guys there. Now we gotta find our way back. I believe we can just kind of start heading this way. All right, and now we're... Yeah, here we go, because we've been here before. Yeah, I know where we're at now. No, don't fall over. Get back up. Get over there. Get over there. Tumble down now. Yay. All right. And back to the landing platform. We do have 8,000 bytes. Maybe I can get a QTRTG from a mission. Let's see here. Which missions give me QTRTGs? The Advanced Explorer Kit does. Safest Houses does, but I'm not doing that anytime soon. The Shred and Scrap one would have. I can do that once I bring home the iron. Alright, so I guess unlock oxygen tank, power cells, glow stick, and dynamite. Oxygen tank, glow sticks, power cells, and then we just need dynamite. That took a lot of bytes, but hey, I think that was worth it, because now we have a QTRTG here. That's permanent power to the base. It's only 1 unit of permanent power, but it's better than no permanent power. All right. Now, we're going to make a furnace. There we go. Give this to me. This is going to make it slow. I can do that. There we go. We don't need a jump jet right now. That can go there. We're going to have to go to the North Pole, so we're going to have to head in that direction. We're going to need a lot of tethers for that if we're doing it by tether. Although we could maybe make a vehicle. Let's look at that. To make a tractor is 2 aluminum, so we would have to go and get some more aluminum. At least I know where it is at, and we can do tethers in the cave, so it's 2-way back to base easy. What about... So that's tractor, and then that's a rover seat. Tractor and trailer, yeah. Do we not have buggies here? Am I missing the buggy? Where is the buggy? I am not seeing the buggy. Medium buggy horn. Walkway bundle. Walkway post for building elevated walkways. Extends your oxygen and power networks. That takes resin and aluminum. That's kind of cool though. Kind of like the same thing as railways, but for walking on it. Yeah, I don't have any buggies here. Is it on this page, I guess? Oh, I guess it's on the large page for some reason. Compound and aluminum, so we can make one of those and save another aluminum piece if we wanted. All right. Well, anyways, we have a furnace. Let's place this here. We have plenty of laterite. Turn it on. We have 3 with us, so we actually will want to make the buggy. So 1 compound and 1 aluminum for that. That can get thrown there. And then we're going to need another compound to actually make the thing. So let's gather some more compound here. And we're going to want compound in order to make the tethers that we need. Make a rover seat for our rover. There's our rover seat. Cool, cool. All right, we got an aluminum. There we go. Let's make our buggy. That'll help us out here quite a bit. All right, now let's make our soul centrifuge 2 compound and an aluminum. Grab an aluminum. Get some compound here. Let's just keep digging out this vein. Oh, come on, not enough. All right, so now we have a buggy. Put that on there. We'll put the wind turbine on the buggy. When we're driving around, that'll actually do it. All right, dig this out. Get some more compound, please. All right. So now we want to make soil centrifuge. And we won't need the smelting furnace anymore. Oh, we'll need it for the other thing. Put an organic in it so that it goes at full speed. Doesn't print super slowly. Okay, that can actually start. I think we might just use the RTG on the rover once that's ready. We'll place this like right here. Yeah, that should be active up there. That should help provide some power. That's good. Fortunately, we don't have any batteries here, and you need zinc for that. He's about to need food. There we go. All right, place that there. And we need clay. Something that we're going to want to invest in at some point if I go down here. So we have a small shuttle right now. There's 2 other sizes of shuttle. There's a medium shuttle and then there's a large shuttle. I never really go for the medium shuttle. I kind of just start with the large one right away. I skip it straight to large. So we're going to need 5,000 bytes for that. We're going to need 2 exochips. I have enough dynamite to get those if we don't already have the exochips, so that's fine. Titanium alloy, we're going to have to get that. That's going to be something that I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to look at that. I don't know if that needs gas. If it needs gas, we can't do it yet. If it doesn't need gas, we can do it right away. Oh, there's that. And let's throw that on there. All right, so then we just need one of these ceramics, and then we can make an oxygenator. And then all our issues are sorted there. So let's look at the Astropedia for titanium alloy. Titanium, graphene, nitrogen. So I'm going to need nitrogen. And then for the graphene, I'm going to need hydrazine, which means I'm going to need hydrogen. So that is not happening anytime soon until I start doing the gas stuff. So that would be the only bottleneck there. Now aluminum alloy for that guy needs... Aluminum alloy is just aluminum and copper, so we wouldn't need gas for that. But that's spending quite a lot of bytes when we can kind of just cope with our small shuttle for now. But anyways, the good thing about having a larger shuttle is you actually have storage space other than just the one oxygenator slot. So it will let us carry things back and forth a lot easier. All right, so we got the ceramic here, and then we have an aluminum right here. Let's go to this guy here. Make an oxygenator. And we'll just throw it right on there, because why not? Unpack. Yay! And now we got a whole oxygen system here. And now we can place down tethers, and then any power on this is connected to us. So I'm just going to extend this down here quick. So now we got a little entrance down here. Now let's head back up to the surface. We're going to do those missions. The one thing we need to do is find something at the North Pole. Hello there. Good to see you. Alright, so let's grab our RTG. We're going to put the RTG right on here. And we will be heading north. That's behind us. You missed us landing on Glacio and then having a tough time because I didn't bring any power or oxygen with me. Apart from that, not too much. We also got a chemistry lab, if that matters. We don't have the actual gas collector though, so we can't do anything with gas yet. What's that thing called? Got a chemistry lab, just not an atmospheric condenser yet. Alright, so let's drive north. Usagi's going to yell at me a bunch because he's going to see a bunch of things for us to look at. In fact, let's go look at this one because it's close enough. Don't think these things can hurt me when I'm in a vehicle, so that's nice. Yeah, they don't even care. Alright, we already saw this one, so let's just keep going north then. At some point, I'm going to have to take a quartz and I'm going to make a beacon at our base so we don't lose the spot. That only really matters for us being on the planet and going back to it. When we're in orbit, we have our landing platform, so the platform bubble is a different shape. It's like a cylinder instead of a sphere. So we should be fine on that front. All right. So actually, let's get out quick and look at those missions, because let's see here. Yes, the new structures detected one here. We had to find the installed platform at Glacio's North Pole. A new provisional exo design is now available to discover for astroneers enrolled in the Astroneer training program. Navigation assistance is now available via the snail. Installed platform instance error found on Glacio. Unidentified data in area detected. So we're going to go to the North Pole because it said at the North Pole. And then Usagi should tell us where it is at, hopefully. Getting some more pings from him. I kind of want to go to this one on the side over here. So that's what we're going to do. At least this planet is pretty traversable. Even the mountains, there's usually a flat end. Okay. We found another wreck here, but it's very dangerous. These things, once I get out... Oh. Gotta flip over. But once I get out, these things, they shoot at you. And they shoot explosives, so we got to be careful. So I'm going to park far on this end. We're going to get out. I'm going to grab this so I don't run out of power, and I'm going to try to dig them up from a distance. Okay, there we go. Didn't even activate any of them. That was pretty good. Those are volatile cataplants. In fact, let's feed him one of them. They get research items underneath them at least. The big ones, though, not small ones that we can just research by hand. All right, let's drive back over here with the rover. I'm going to flatten this out here quickly. That guy's kind of being annoying. This one gives a research sample that's small. All right, let's put that back on him. We're gonna back up here. We're gonna get out. Whoa. And let's dig on this end. Dig into it. Whoa, I wonder what that is. I haven't seen anything like that. Okay. Let me up. Okay, let's dig this out. Dig up there. Dig that. All right. So that's just some debris. That's useless. Research item technology. And it's big. Wow. I bet that's worth a lot of bytes. I can't really take it back right now, though. This stuff up here looks useful, though. So we got some argon. What is this? Solid fuel jump jet. And then we got some more argon. Anything else that I'm not seeing? I don't believe so. All right, let's jump back out. Jump jet time. Good thing we have it now. Let me get out easier. I want those tethers back, please. Let's keep this inside here. And we'll come back when we actually have room to take it back home and research it. Because that'll be a lot of bytes. All right, anyways, we can get back on here now. So that's that. Now let's head back north again. He just ate a plant, so now we're going to feed him that one. Yeah, let's go around this. Nope. We got flipped over. All right. This way. Is this too steep? We'll see. That's too steep. That should be fine. To be honest, I think a gravity globe would probably be better here than a buggy. All right, he sees something over here and it has a weird color to it, so I kind of want to see that. That might be the thing we're oh, I think that's what we're looking for. This is the North Pole. That's the gate sitting right on the North Pole. And I'm pretty sure this is what we were looking for. All right. Whoa, that's a big canister. Well, there we go. That got completed. Can we redeem that here, or is it something that we have to redeem at home? It's something we have to redeem at home because we get the mutant hispine seeds. That's actually kind of nice because I know we'll want those. So we can start farming those. And hey, there's a 1 out of 5. So we just got both of those in one go. That's pretty nice. Okay, so this comes with a medium printer here. And then we have an extra large resource canister. Can hold 2,000 nuggets of a single resource. That's insane. I wonder what that thing wants for it. All right, well, let's head back to base and redeem, and then it's probably going to ask us to come back out here again. But that's fine. It wasn't too long of a drive, and we made some pit stops along the way, so getting back and forth shouldn't be too hard. Once we have like big rovers and stuff, we can like make these drills and pavers and stuff, so we can just make our own roads basically. It's nice. Also, once we have a good... Come on. Are you really stuck on this? Stupid boulder thing. You can't just pick up the buggy, otherwise it would be easy to just move it. You can flip it and then drive it yourself, but that's about it. I might want some of this graphite. If I even have any room. Got room for one graphite. All right. Let's get out of here. Zoom, zoom. Yeah, I'm actually not sure if a buggy or a gravity globe would be better on this planet, because there are a lot of like creases and stuff. I think gravity globe might just bounce off of them instead of climbing it like this does. So you'd probably be getting out to make more ramps more often. So maybe this is better than a gravity globe. Sure can't wait to get into the train stuff. That'll be fun. We kind of have to get a little more established though, because that stuff takes a lot of aluminum. So you kind of want to be mass producing that with like scrap or something, or have a good mining program going, which we do not yet. We can fill this and get a thingy from it. Let's see what we get from Glacio from one of these. It's a surface power fill one. It's going to take a little bit. There's the base. Is there any new extra large items that I haven't noticed yet? Sensor canopy, I think that already existed. Hey, got a research item. That's also worth a lot of bytes, but we can't use it yet, so oh well. Let's throw that on there. I mean, what does it take to make a researching thing? 2 compound and a resin? I mean, we could do that. Takes a lot of power to do, though. And I need my power on the go right now. Not just staying stuck at base. I mean, we don't need to research too much stuff right now yet anyways. Alright, so let's redeem that. We're going to get some seeds. Let's place the circuit modules down here. The argon we don't need yet. Tethers can stay on me. I don't need a jump jet on me. In fact, let's print more tethers. Graphite can stay here. We'll make that into a packager at some point. Alrighty. So we will collect the mutant hisbine seeds. And we did get a new mission. Okay, so we're going to pick these up. So it is those green things. We're going to plant 2 of them. And we'll start farming those. Once we bring them back home, though, we can auto-farm them. There's certain things you can do to actually automatically farm them. It's pretty cool. We'll want an auto arm, though, and then there's some stuff with repeaters and area of effect things. Alright, so we got a new mission. Cracking caches. Find and explode an exocache. Okay. I mean, we have dynamite. And I do see an exocache in this direction. I think we'll just drive out and do that. Once we go to Calidor with a, if we go to Calidor with an atmospheric condenser and then basically just a bunch of tappers, you can make automatic explosives as long as you have the auto arms set up and everything. Must be underground too much, probably. I can probably rover underground. I mean, the underground area on this planet is really flat. I can probably do that pretty easily. I think that's probably actually a good idea. Now what I should do is I should make a beacon at base so I can drive back to base easier. Yeah, because if you see on the compass that green thing, the green one right here, there's like a line with a dot. So the line with the dot is drawn downwards. So it's under the ground compared to me. If I was like down underground, or like this one here, this blue one, it's a line with a dot, but it's drawn upwards. So that means it's higher in elevation compared to me. So that's pretty useful to know. But ideally, you don't want the line at all, because then that means it's on the same platform as you. Let's leave the trumpet here. Yeah, let's drive this down. We should be able to fit it. If I can get around this stuff. All right. Yeah, not too bad. All right. I'm going to expand this on either side here, just so then it's easier to find. And we'll pull it out on this side too. All right. Let's get back in the car. Yeah, he liked that. All right. Let's go to the green. And yeah, it's on this level, so... Oh, come on. There was hardly a bump and we flipped over. Also, all these spikes. Yeah, this is flat terrain for walking, but when we're walking, we can go around all these little spiky bits. When we're driving, it isn't the same. Maybe I should have just walked. Oh, this is sillier anyways, so it doesn't matter. Up and over. Yeah. Yeah. Ugh. Oh, come on. There we go. There we go. Okay. And there's a cache. Let's explode it. Whoa. Why did it throw me up so high? All right, let's grab our dynamite, put it right there, and back away. Oh, wow. All right, we got exo chip, 2 exo chips, 3 exo chips. That was a good one. Pretty sure 3 is the max you can get out of them. That's great. Not a very good use of dynamite, though. I only did that because we had the mission. Usually, if you're using dynamite and you don't have infinite dynamite production yet, it's much better to just gather the crates and bring them all to one location. Because what you can do is you can stack all the crates, like 10 of them, all in a pile and just get them really close together. And then what you can do is you can put the TNT in the middle of it. And then what you can do is you can just have one explosion from one dynamite open up like 10 crates. So it's very efficient. Yeah, it would have been faster to just walk there with the tethers. That's so funny. Whatever. That was really fun, though. Driving a buggy around is fun. And then once we get the huge rovers that are like the extra large rovers, they're really fun. I love them. We can get a paver and a drill bit on it. We'll need diamond for the drill bit. And then it can hold its own soil with the huge canisters. And it can pick up items. We can have a bunch of silos on them. It's great. All right, so we completed that mission. We have exo chips now, so that's nice. Let's not forget those. Let's place those on the silo here. because we'll want those to go back home because that'll contribute to some things. Let's move this off of there, by the way, so things don't fall. Are you really? Wow. Can't believe it tipped over like that. All right, you can stay like that. Perfect. All right. So cracking caches is complete. And we got even more exochips. Cool. We'll just leave these ones here then. That's extras. We'll probably want them for this planet for something anyways. All right, did that give me anything new? Unlocked potential. That was from doing the survival kit one. But if we unlock 100 schematics, we get another QTRTG, so that's fun, I guess. All right, there isn't too much else to do here. We did complete this one, so we don't have to do that. Because now we just have to go to Calidor, Visania, and Aatrox in order for this one to complete itself. And this gives us the schematic for the extra large resource canister, so that's kind of cool. But we know that one exists on this planet at the North Pole, so that's also cool. And these things are done. So now we can do that. Actually, I don't think we needed to dig them out. I think you can just harvest them without digging them, which is good to know if that is the truth. But yeah, now we got a bunch of these. Let's not forget to bring these guys home so we can start growing them there. If you can put tappers on these guys, they might actually be good for organic, maybe. That might be nice. These ones are incompatible with the research chamber, though. So you can't use them to research. All right, the next major thing from this planet, I suppose, is just getting the resources from it now, because we kind of did all of the missions we can with it. We're going to want to go to Calidor and do those shells. Get some more snails. Oh yeah, we got to gather malachite. Where's that at? Or resources. Malachite. Calidor Caves or Silva Mountains? I think Silva Mountains is going to be easier. So we'll go home and do that bit. Yeah. Lithium, stuff storage. All right. Yeah, we're basically done at this place then. All right, so let's go in the caves and then gather some titanium. Good thing there's some titanium right here. Let's just explode those over there. Thank you. We need to get some better drills. Also, we need to get some more silos. That's another thing we should make. We'll make a second silo so I can bring it down with us. Because I want to fill my backpack with seeds and tethers, not a bunch of titanium. I can make some more wind turbines with that, can't I? Because wind is high on this planet, so getting more wind turbines is definitely worth it. We do want to have more batteries, though. The batteries will need zinc, which I don't believe we can get on this planet. Because zinc needs sphalerite. And sphalerite, I can find it. It's only on the Silva Caves or the Desolo Mountains, so you can't even find it to make zinc on this place. So I'd have to import the zinc for batteries. It isn't windy anymore, so none of these turbines are going. All right, well, we got 2 titanium. We're going to let this one finish, and then I think the rest of our titanium and iron that we get is going to stay unrefined, and we will smelt it at home. Can I? Yeah, you can just harvest these without digging beneath them, so that's nice. And then we can replant them like that. I'll just make a little garden here. But once we bring them home, we'll be able to do the full auto. And then we'll have like a whole silo full of seeds that we can just grab to feed our guys. It'll be great. Okay, so that's done there. So now I'm actually going to move this to like right there. And now we're going to make another medium storage silo. There we go. All right. Now let's take that back down with us. And we'll get some more titanium. Let's go to an actually full one. And let's explore some more too. There's some laterite over there. Got some more organic. Well, not organic. What is it called? There's shadows there. That must be a glitch because I don't see any holes in the ceiling. You know, making a huge pathway on this planet with all the tethers is actually pretty good because you can get all these research samples and they give so much bytes. Like we're already back up to 4,000 and these things regenerate like every 20 minutes and you can just make a huge tether line and just walk along them every now and then. Every time you come back to Glacio and just get a ton of bytes. It's great. Not to mention those larger ones give so much bytes if you actually have the power on this planet to run a researcher. There's some more titanium. Let's go grab it quick. Well, we ran out of power fast. All right, let's reconnect to the network. This is why we need more tethers. All right, let's head back, see if there was any titanium along our pathway. I mean, I know there was some at the beginning, but I don't believe we found any other bits on this line here. Any just remotely close? That's kind of far, but we'll try it. It's a lot on the surface, so it shouldn't take too much power to grab a lot. All right. Okay, 3. We really just need a better drill, I think. Here, I'll just leave it here and then just go back and forth between the power thing. That shouldn't be too hard. If there was any compound down here, I could just grab that and make some more tethers, I suppose. I see any? Not really. Frozen argon cubes look so cool. What I should have done was grab the RTG and brought it down here with me, so then I could have attached it. Although I think this should be a decent amount of titanium for now. Make a couple silos at home. Make a some other stuff. And once we go home, we'll have the iron for the atmospheric condenser. And then with the atmospheric condenser, luckily at home is the only place we really need it for the titanium alloy, because it just needs the nitrogen and the hydrogen. All right, now we're getting a good amount. Let's see. I think this is actually a pretty good amount then, because then the rest can be iron, because iron is also useful. So we won't even dig any more of that right now. All right, let's head back up and out. So we'll just attach this right on there. Actually, we won't do that yet. Or will we? Yeah, let's just keep it on there and let's just move this around again and be silly. This time, let's not forget this. I'll just put this in my backpack. Thank you. This I will leave at home. We don't need more. Let's just go out and grab some iron quick. There should be some out here on the flats. Should be pretty easy to find. Bring our shuttle along for air. And then we have our RTG for our power. Also, there's a little wreck here. Did I check this out already or not? Oh, don't take that off. We want that on there. Now this just has some power extenders. Not really that useful. All right, we got some iron over here to grab. A nice big deposit of it. Let's explode that boy. There we go. The boom-a-loom. And we'll just throw it right there. Oh boy. So much of it. All right, let's see how much of this we can actually fit on here now. All the hematite to make the iron. Got two free spaces, and then whatever's in my backpack we can take home. So we'll just get a ton of iron. All right. I think that's good. Do we need anything back at the base? Yeah, let's head back to the base. Just so then we can throw our RTG back there. because we'll leave the RTG at this planet, not bring it home. We don't need it at home. Having an RTG here is probably the most useful. All right. So we will drop the RTG here. We will... anything from this, just the chips, I suppose. We'll throw 2 chips onto the platform here on our silo. And then we'll grab the 3rd chip and put it in our backpack. You know what? We can grab 1 more chip. All right. Any mission I'm missing? I don't believe so. Nope. All right, let's go home and dig deeper. Perfect. And home we go. Back to Silva. And there's home with our landing pad. Here we are. Let's drop that there. Let's pull this out. And we'll throw this on here. So much more item space. It's so great. All right, that'll start smelting it all. So what we'll need... ooh, let's throw this on here too. And pull the exo chips off. There we go. Also, let's start the mutant hispine farm. I suppose it would be good to put it over here where we do all our snail stuff anyways. Those will start growing. Oh, and we'll want one to try and test and see if tappers are faster on it or not. Also, we do have a single copper here. Not sure if that'll be useful for us. All right, so now it's making some iron. So we have some iron here. So let's see what we need for the atmospheric condenser. 1 plastic, 1 glass, 1 iron. We have a plastic here. We have a glass here. And we have an iron here. And now we can talk to this thing here and make 1. So now we can start doing gases. So that's great. So in order to make the large shuttle, which we will unlock right now, we need a ceramic. We already have that, or if we don't have one, we can make it easy. I'm pretty sure we have one sitting over on that medium thing though. The titanium alloy. Now that thing is going to be a little more complicated, but we have the capacity to do it now. And then the exo chips we just brought home. So we have plenty of those. So we are looking good to have our huge shuttle already. That's going to be so nice to have that. So let's actually look at what is needed for titanium alloy. So under resources, composite resources. Titanium alloy, titanium, graphene, nitrogen. We have titanium sitting here. we'll start doing the graphene stuff soon. We can make nitrogen with this atmospheric condenser. So hydrogen is 75 parts per unit here. Nitrogen is 100 parts per unit, so that's actually real great. So we'll just start doing that right now. That's super efficient. Now it takes a lot of power, so now everything here is actually running a little slower, and our batteries are going to start draining here. That's all right though. Also, we do have access to the medium generator now that we have tungsten. That takes an aluminum and a tungsten to do. Also, we could make medium solar and wind if we wanted. That's aluminum and ceramic and copper and glass. I think, yeah, there's also large solar, aluminum alloy, copper and glass, aluminum alloy, ceramic and glass. Large battery needs lithium and zinc. Medium batteries need lithium and zinc as well. RTG needs nanocarbon alloy. That's the most expensive thing. And then some lithium. All right, so this is going. We have 3 of the 5 units in here. Each little resource thing actually holds 5 units. So it's 5 uses per one, which is pretty nice. All right, so let's look at what we need. So for the titanium alloy, we have the titanium. We're about to have the nitrogen. So now we need graphene. For graphene, we need graphite and hydrazine. Getting graphite is easy. We can just centrifuge that. Now for the hydrazine, we need 2 ammonium and hydrogen. We have some ammonium sitting here, and we can just get some hydrogen from this thing. So I'll wait for the nitrogen to finish, and then we'll just make, there we go. And now we'll make some hydrogen. Throw this in my backpack, make some hydrogen. Also, we just got some new things, so that's great. We got a reward. We can now make gas canisters, and we get one for free. So that's pretty cool. I'm actually going to leave this in here because I'm going to want to bring that to Aatrox. Alrighty, I'm back. All right, so we just got that gas canister. We're actually going to want to wait, and I'm going to bring that to Aatrox because we're going to want, I think it's, what, helium? Let's look at the resource list. Yeah, helium is only found on Aatrox, and it goes for a very long time. So ideally, you want to just leave it AFK at the base there. And having that canister means it'll fill up over time, and you'll get a lot of helium in one go, which is nice. All right, we don't need that much hydrogen right now, so I'll turn this off. Stop using all our power, please. This thing isn't even finished doing all of its smelting. We just have so much here. And we can make some more, storage silos, so that's great. All right, so now we need some graphite if we don't already have any sitting on the ground. We do not, so that means we're going to have to make some. I'm just going to do it in the centrifuge because I think that is the easiest. Have a full soil canister here. Don't need too much. So we can just do one graphite. We only need one of these. So now for hydrazine, we need 2 hydrogen and then 2 ammonium and then a hydrogen. And I think we can just do that right in the chemistry lab here. So let's go ahead and do that. But before we do that, I actually wanted to check. We had gotten that new one done to get that gas canister, but we should have a couple new missions now. So we have fuel for thought, create hydrazine. Well, we're going to do that right in a second here. We'll get a hydrazine thruster for free, so that's nice. Composite perfection, refined nanocarbon alloy, and then we'll get the schematic for the portable oxygenator free, so that'll save us a lot of bytes. And we'll definitely want to do that because nanocarbon alloy is used for a lot of really good items. That's kind of down the line though. We're going to want to do that. We're going to want to make like a whole big bulk of that. So we're probably going to already want to have a setup with at least like a canister full of stuff. And we'll just do that all at one time. Makes it easier. Then we have echoes of the past. Unlock and print a probe scanner. Oh yeah, that'll be that's another side mission we can do. We'll probably do that later on in the run. It's not really too useful right away now, so we'll leave that for later. All right, so that finished smelting all of its things, and we have our graphite here. So let's make our hydrazine. We'll let that go right away. Let's pull this exo chip off. We don't need that. Alrighty, we finished fuel for thought, and we have our hydrazine. And we're just going to switch this to our graphene right away. Our hydrogen got dropped, so we'll place that there. All right, that's making the graphene. Now let's grab a titanium. And let's grab the graphene. And we have the nitrogen, the graphene, and the titanium. And we will make the titanium alloy out of that. Now, as complicated as getting the titanium alloy was, to do nanocarbon alloy, you need a titanium alloy, and you need steel, and you need helium. So you have the whole challenge of getting a gas on Aatrox. And then you need to have steel, which in order to get steel, you need iron, carbon, and argon. So you need to have gas from Glacio. You need to have gas from Silva for the titanium alloy. You need to get iron and titanium from Glacio. Carbon can come from wherever, but you need to smelt that. And then you need graphite and quite a lot of ammonium. And then you need the gases from Silva for that, the hydrogen and the nitrogen. And then, yeah, so it's pretty complicated. All right, so there is our titanium alloy. And now we can pull this guy off, and we're going to put our big printer on. And now we are going to make our large shuttle. So I need a ceramic, should be right over here. Yeah, got a couple ceramic extra. And then what was the other item it needed? Needed the exo chips, yes. So we'll grab 2 exo chips here. And we will throw this right on there. And that'll start printing. And that's going to take quite a while because it's a big print. So I'll let that go in the background while we look at some other stuff. So we got fuel for thought finished. So now we get a free hydrazine thruster. And that's actually pretty nice because then we can just put a lot of hydrazine onto it. And then we won't have to worry about using packagers to refill our thruster. We can just use a bunch of hydrazine. So that is great. Was there any new things? Now we're going to go dig some malachite up. That is what we'll be doing next. Was there any other new things that are important, though? Scrap is something to think in the back burner now that we have access to that stuff pretty easy. We might actually want to... I'm going to mark that so we don't forget it. We'll track that. And then... yeah, that's down the line, so not right now yet. Vertical thinking. Find vehicle data recorder on Visania. So that stuff is for getting... I'm pretty sure that's for getting the VTOL. And then these two here, if I continue with these, I'm pretty sure I get the skateboard thing, the hoverboard. Now, the hoverboard is actually really useful. So once we have a little bit more resources, we might want to do that. Although, I don't think the hoverboard is that great until we have a portable oxygenator. So we'll probably want to get some nanocarbon for that first. But yeah, this thing's going to come out great. And actually, I think we probably want to unlock a large storage right now and start making a couple of those. So let's grab some soil canisters. And we're going to head down into the caves quick. And we'll just dig out some areas so we can get enough soil for that. So I'll kind of just dig along the wall here, I suppose. Kind of along the ceiling. Not like I need to walk up there or anything. There we go. And let's head back up. That should give us a batch or two of the ceramic. So that's great. Hey, and there it is. We finished the packaging. Finished printing it. Now we get to unpackage it. And now we have our large shuttle. And look at that. We got 2 large slots. So that's great. And then what we can do is if we make 2 of these large storages with the ceramic, we can end up having 8 medium slots on that, which means we could put 8 storage silos on that. And then that's 24 times 8 small slots. If I do the math on that, we could fit 192 resources that way. Although I'm probably not going to fully fill it with these silos. I'll probably only put half of them on there. Because some things we want to package up and bring as medium boxes. So then you'll need some medium slots for that. So anyways, we'll throw the soil on here. Do 2... no, not on the researcher. There we go. 2 full canisters. And that will give us 6 clay. And I'll just throw that right on here. I will pull this off. Also, we do now have some of these guys here, so I will harvest these. That one's not finished, so these things take longer to grow. I want to plant one of these right here. Like right here, right? Yeah, that's in range. And then I'm going to make a tapper and put it on it. So do we have any free aluminum? I think we might need to get some more aluminum. All right, well, that won't be too hard. Although I could just take a tapper off of one of these. So once this is fully grown, then we can put a tapper on it and see how fast it makes organic, if it does any organic at all. I think it should do organic. There is a plant on Aatrox that I think does it the fastest. So I might want to go, when I'm go there to get the helium stuff set up, I might want to do that. So that'll be fun. All right, so we have our clay here, and then that'll start smelting, and we'll get a bunch of ceramic, and then we'll craft some of those and put it on here. And that's great, because that means I can really do some more base building a lot easier. And then with the hydrazine thruster, which I'll just put right on here right away, we can just mass produce some hydrazine. The only thing with that is it'll be a little power intensive because we have to actually make the hydrogen for that. But getting the ammonium is pretty easy because I can just centrifuge that or go to a planet where you can just find a bunch on the surface right away. Is this finished? It is. So I'm going to pull this one off, I think. Actually, let's do this. And do that. Smooth all that out there quickly. Replace that, lock it. Pick up these tappers. Now I'm going to have to wait for that to regrow again, but let's place this here. And we might as well put a second one like right there. That's all in range. Yep, that one's right in the middle. Now we'll wait for that to do it again. I'll place these here. These 4 tappers, and we'll see if that actually works or not. If it doesn't work, then we can just do another plume for seed and put it right back where it was. All right, so actually I might want to start auto farming these guys so I can keep feeding our friendos here. Now Usagi is kind of useful. He's not the most useful, but he is pretty useful. But there are some other snails that are a lot more useful, and we're going to want to have a lot of food for them at all times. So let's look at a couple things here. Now, we're going to need some auto arms for it. I know that for certain. So we'll need aluminum and then some graphite for that. All right. Also, we finished our ceramic here. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take our soil centrifuge off. And we're just going to throw the storage on here. And we'll just grab the printer and throw it on here. And let's see here. Large storage. We actually want 2 of these. So I'll just have that run in a loop. And it'll only be able to make 2 of them because that's how much ceramic we have. So there's that. But anyways. So we'll definitely want to go mining for some more aluminum because we want that for multiple things now, including the auto arms. Graphite, we can just centrifuge for that. And then we're going to want some automation stuff down here. And I'm pretty sure it's going to need some zinc. Actually, I think it's under the medium, even though it's a small item. We got button repeaters. Proximity repeater, that's the powerful thing. When activated, it also activates any items in range. And then there's delay repeaters, count repeaters. I think we're going to want a delay repeater and a proximity repeater. We can't actually do this with just proximity repeaters, but I think it makes the game lag a tiny bit compared to doing it with both, but we can just do that as a start. All right, so we got 1 storage here. So if I just place this right here. So let's say I wanted to fill this fully with the silos. Well, we have 2 large ports here. And this counts as 4 small ports. So we could put 4 silos on this. Or you could grab one of these guys, throw it on. Now we can fit 6 silos. And once that one's done printing and we throw that on, we can fit 8 silos. So with that, we just doubled the amount of medium slots on this thing. It's real great. Now, the only reason you wouldn't want to have that full then with these is if you wanted to carry a large item. And sometimes you want to do that. But for now, when we don't have too much actual big items to be bringing around, just having only a bunch of medium ones is actually pretty great. I think the only large things that you really want to take from planet to planet regularly is the really big rovers, and we're not at that point yet. In fact, let's look. If we go down here, the large rover, that's the biggest one. Now it costs 5,000 bytes, so we need to do that. We need to get more bytes for that. It takes 2 exochips. We do have some exochips, so that isn't too bad. Then it's aluminum alloy and rubber. So we would have to be doing some stuff with the chemistry station, and I think we need some gas for the aluminum alloy. But the thing is, with these things, you can make a rover train and have up to 4 of them on it. So you kind of want to do this times 4 then. So it's a lot more expensive than you think. And then there's actually attachments for it. If we go down here, now obviously you need a rover seat for it, but that is easy to do. You could get a winch and put it on there. That is useful sometimes, but it's mostly just for fun. But then we have the paver. So in order to actually pave down and make pathways, you need another aluminum alloy and a silicone then. And then we have our drills here. To get the best drill, which you obviously want to use the best drill, that's a diamond and a titanium alloy. Now we saw how to do a titanium alloy. We needed one of those to make our large shuttle. So we would have to do that again. And then to make a diamond, you need 2 graphene. So then we would need 2 graphite and 2 hydrazine, which ends up meaning we need 2 hydrogen and then 4 ammonium. So, I mean, it's not cheap, but it isn't too expensive. The titanium alloy is the more annoying bit of that, but it is doable. But all that added up, it kind of gets expensive for early game. So we'll kind of put that off for a little while. All right, so this is done and we have our full thing there. And I actually want to start using the hydrazine thruster right away, so we'll make some more of that. So in order to do that, we're going to make some more hydrogen. Nope, we need the atmosphere condenser, and we'll throw that on there. And that'll go, so we'll make some more units of that. And I'm going to make some more ammonium, which means we're going to need some more soil. So if we go down back in the caves quick. Let's get some more soil here. Just fill that up real fast. We should also make a diamond at some point and get tier 3 drill for our own use, because we're going to need a higher drill strength in order to get to the cores of the planet and actually dig on some of the harder planets that have the harder substances right away at the surface area, like on Glacio. And I'm pretty sure to make the tier 3 for that, we'll also need a diamond. Let me check that. Yeah, drill mod 3. We're going to need a lot of bytes for that. And then it's a diamond, so we'll need to do that at some point. Also, another consideration for the large rover, we'd probably want to get more of these things for that to slot onto it for more medium slots, because medium slots are what most of our small machines and useful things are used for on the go. Also, this thing takes so much power. 20 units while active. Jeez. Ah, this isn't helping. Let's see. Do these things work now? I mean, it lets it go. I don't know if it's faster or not. We'll see. Let's attach 2. Attach it on, please. Thank you. Didn't I have more sitting here? Oh yeah, they're behind on this end. Let's have 4 going on it, I suppose. All right. Uh, can't tell if that's faster or not. Well, over time, this thing will fill up more and back up on its own line if it is faster. So we'll see at some point. All right, so we almost got a full canister here. Now let's make some hydrazine. Well, ammonium first. So 2 full canisters of soil only make 1 ammonium. We have some ammonium sitting here right now, though. So once this batch is finished, we can make 2 hydrazine right away. Not too bad. I should definitely see if there's a ammonium deposit somewhere on the map nearby and just grab a bunch of that. I think that'll be good to do. Oh, yes. So we were doing the auto farm thing. So let's grab a zinc here. Now, was this something I could build in here, or do I have to use the actual packager thing? I think we have to use the actual printer here, yeah. Proximity repeater. We'll make 1 of those. And actually, we'll make 2 of those. And did it just place it on our storage? Yes, it did. So we'll grab that back off, and we'll make a second one. So we could have made 2 batteries with these, but we're making these instead. So I'm actually going to make a small pit right here. Just a little hole. Then we'll just kind of smooth it out right here, I suppose. It's temporary. It doesn't matter too much. So what we're going to do is we're going to place some seeds here. So if you have seeds on the ground like this and they're placed, and you take a proximity repeater, you see there's a little proximity there, hence the name. So that's placed, and if we use it, it plants them. And when they're full grown, if you use it again, it'll actually uproot them. And then once they land on the ground again, they'll replant. And then once you have enough kind of just sitting there, some will kind of stack on top of them and not plant right away. And then you get an auto arm to pull it out of the pit. And that's kind of how these work. Let's connect back up so we don't die. There we go. But the cool thing about the proximity repeater, they can activate each other if they're in range. So now they're just infinitely activating each other at super hyper speed right now. And since they're doing it at super hyper speed to each other, it is kind of adding a little tiny bit of lag to the game for no good reason. Now what you can do is you can make one of those delay repeaters or something like that, and then you can make it be a slower clock so it only activates 1 pulse like a second or every couple seconds, and then that'll basically make the lag way less. But if you don't really care about the lag too much, you can just do that. This really isn't anything for lag until you have like 20 setups of these going at the same time. That's when stuff might start getting to be noticeable or something like that. All right, so these still go pretty slowly, so that wasn't too much of an upgrade. We'll probably have to get specific things from the planets. Should have grabbed one of the seeds from Glacio that wasn't these things. At least they work instead of the tree, because they take up a lot less space than the trees do. All right, so we're done with that. So we'll pull that off. And now we'll throw this guy on. We'll throw that on here. And we'll grab some of this. We'll make a hydrazine. All right, there's one hydrazine. Let's make a second one. And I kind of want to make one more, but that means I'll have to put more soil in this. So we're going to need 2 more full canisters. All right, there's our second hydrazine. That's great. We'll put both of these onto here. Not on there, down here, please. Thank you. Then we have one more slot for another. So these jets, when they're at full 100%, it does 4 launches. Now, leaving your planet and then going to another planet counts as 2. If you were doing a round trip, that would be a full 4. And by round trip, I just mean like going from one planet to a different planet and then coming back to that same planet. Now, if you do like actual round trips where you're stopping at different planets in between, you actually make some savings then, compared to going back and forth to one planet and then going back to a home staging planet and then going to another planet and then coming back to the home staging planet. But basically, with these 2 hydrazine right here, we are 2/3 full. And with that, that gives you 16 launches there. So that would mean we could leave the planet, go to a different planet, and come back and do that 4 times. Which is great. And then if we had one more hydrazine on here, that would bump this up all the way to 24. Which means that we could go and do that 12 times before we'd have to refill it. So it's very convenient. And then what you can do is you could get a medium soil canister. And the soil canisters in this game also work as liquid canisters. And hydrazine is a liquid. So you can get a soil canister. And a soil canister can hold 24 hydrazine. So if you could automate making ammonium and then you just get enough hydrogen and then you have that chemistry station running automatically, you could fill up a whole soil canister's worth, a whole medium soil canister's worth. And then that would let you do one of those actions of filling this up 8 times, pretty sure. Let's see here. Yeah, 8 times. So then that means you could do 12 roundabouts 8 times, which means that you could do 96 back and forths if you had a full soil canister of hydrazine. It's crazy. But that means getting a lot of soil for this, or getting a lot of scrap and doing it the scrap way, which the scrap way is probably more efficient. For soil, at least. I should make a extended platform, one of the tall platforms, or a stacked platform. I wonder what a stacked platform looks like. I might want to get one of those. Okay, one's finally full enough to start contributing. That's nice. All right, let's take the ammonium and put it right in here. And one more hydrazine. There we go. And then with this big shuttle here, we can put whatever we need on it, and we can get a bunch of silos and ferry across a ton of resources. And it's going to be so useful for getting the nanocarbon alloy and all the other things and doing our missions. All right, let's place this on there. So now this can do 24 launches. Super great. Actually, wasn't there a mission for filling up a gas canister? Okay, so we got to do the malachite thing. We're going to do that before we finish up here. Okay, so we need to fill a resource canister. That's just a normal one. We're not doing that yet. Oh, I suppose not. All right. Well, we should probably get some malachite done. Good thing we're right next to the mountains here. I see some up there, so I'll just go and grab that quick. Just need to dig 3 worth up. More, yep. Please give me any more there is. Yes. We don't have enough for 1 full yet. Oh. Here's some more malachite. Ran out of power. I need to bring my RTG with me. Oh, that just gave me its organic. There we go. All right, there should be an RTG right here for me to grab. Also, now I can make oxygen tanks. That's out of glass. I have glass. Let's make an oxygen tank. I want to see how good that is. I haven't really used one of those too much. In fact, let's make a couple more. Cool, so now we have an oxygen tank. So this can refill when we're here. And that basically just lets us have more. So it says it expands the oxygen capacity by 1 backpack's worth. That's actually not that bad. That's quite a bit. So if we have like 3 of those, that means we basically just quadrupled how much oxygen we have here. Obviously, it takes up slots, though. I think we don't need... Well, first of all, we can put one of the soil down here. We don't need to have our friend right now. We can place him down here. We just can't forget him when we go to other planets. But, like, we don't need his pings right now. Do we... having a work light is nice. I just need to have 3 extra slots, which we do, so we're good. All right, let's get some copper. All right, there's 1 copper. There's 2. Well, it's not copper yet. We got to smelt it before it's copper. Right now, it's just malachite. Let's head up here. And this thing's slowly depleting instead of our actual oxygen, so that's cool. All right, and then here's some more right here. And the extra's fallen out. Okay, so we finished that. So let's head back. I think this... Ouch. I think this mission is the one that gets us started on the train stuff. So that would be exciting if it is. I'll throw the copper thing right there. Let's just throw these down here. We don't need to smelt them yet. And let's talk to this. So there it is, digging deeper, and we get a special magic item. Yeah, there it is, the new mission, Snowpiercer. And it's tracked. So we have to place and activate the peculiar piece on the surface of Glacio. Please deploy on Glacio. Chronos data file point-to-point transit. And then we get a free QTRTG for that. Cool. Yeah, and that's a train station. So these missions, it's a whole mission line. We start on Glacio, and then I think you actually take it to Calidor and have another one of these on Calidor. And then you do one here on Silva. So it's real fun. And this thing basically is the quest line for all the train stuff. So it gets you into doing the train stuff. And the trains are real fun. I love them. So we'll make sure to bring that along with us next time we go to Glacio. And was there anything else? Not really. I suppose we could probably make a scrap. I mean, I don't really need a squeaker horn. I'm gonna throw that in here. So that counted as producing scrap, even though it wasn't a full thing. Now that thing's gonna keep being weird. Here, if I place it on that, it won't do it. Then we'd have to actually use a trade platform then. Trade platform. Exochip, iron, tungsten. We can make one of those. Might as well. Iron. Tungsten's on this thing. We make it, let's see. Printer. Ooh, we don't have it researched. We need more bytes for that. Might want to start doing more byte things. I suppose we could go back to Glacio to place down that train thing. And then we can have a research station going on Glacio. In fact, I can just grab this one. I mean, it's not like I need to bring a ton of stuff to Glacio yet, so I can just grab it without even packaging it. So that just takes up a large slot. There we go. Let's not have that placed on there in case. Also, let's put the power cells somewhere on here so then they get used up on the system. Those should get used up at some point then. All right. And then we can research some of those research items, and those give us a lot of bytes. So I think we should leave and go start that up. So let's place these down here. We don't really care about them. Let's put a QTRTG back on here. Leave our exochip here. All right. Let's take this thingy. Let's grab it. And we'll go to another planet. Is there anything else I want to bring first? I don't believe so. All right. Well, we won't be making full use of this, but partial. Let's go back to Glacio. We'll go to Glacio. We'll place down that train station. And then we'll see what's up. Start up our research. And then we'll probably call it a day. It's pretty good. Pretty good progress. All right, let's find our base. It should have, yep, right here. Has a proper landing pad at it. All right, perfect. Let's move this off and rotate it around. Place it there. All right. So I'm actually going to switch these two. There we go. Oh, I should have brought zinc for batteries, or just brought batteries. Oh well. Let's go grab Where is it at? Was it over here? There was a research item. I think it's like right there, isn't it? We can more freely run around now. Yeah, it's over here. This research item should be worth a lot. Like, I bet this thing right here just on its own is like 5,000 or something crazy. I mean, we'll see. Also, let's research these tiny things. For being the surface plant ones, 71 each isn't bad at all when they're clustered together like that. We didn't even go through a whole canister. Oh. All right, let's put this on here. Oh, why isn't it going? So it has 7,400 in it all by itself. This thing is pulling 2 units of power. So when this thing is running, it's at 100%. Then whenever these wind turbines are going at all, it'll be at 100%. But since we don't have any batteries here, that's not too great. Oh yeah, the RTG should probably be attached, so it's always running at least half. Okay. So when it's going at full, it's 228 bytes per minute. And then over the course of half an hour, it'll give us more than 7,000 bytes. Just running in the background. Pretty nice, pretty good. We need 1,400 more for the trade platform. All right, and let's put down our peculiar piece. I think I'll take it over to here. Make sure this area here is a little flat. All right, that should be pretty good. We'll place it like right here. Yeah, that's a good orientation. There we go. Can't pick it back up, but it's not too big a deal where we place it. This is a good enough spot. It makes its own flatness anyways. All right, so that's started.